Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. My name is Clyde Gillard from Hewlett Packard Enterprise. I am the North American go-to-market leader for AI for what we call industry accounts. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Amlan Maitra, the Senior Vice President and Head of Enterprise Data at one of the best known companies on the planet, and that's PepsiCo. So before we get started, Alman, I'd love it if you tell us a little bit about your role at PepsiCo. You've been there for over 20 years, managed through a significant amount of change. And please tell us some background about yourself and about your role at PepsiCo.
Clyde, thank you for the introduction. And I wanted to also take the opportunity to thank you and the CDO Magazine for this opportunity to have this discussion this morning. As you might know, PepsiCo's iconic products are enjoyed in more than 200 countries and territories around the world every day. And at PepsiCo, the vision is to become the global leader in convenience snacks and beverages by winning with purpose. To that end, as you can imagine, data analytics and insights and increasingly AI are important enablers of realizing this vision. By allowing us to become more consumer-centric, continue to grow our scale and extend our brands into new channels and geographies, as we propel our growth. I have had the great journey here at PepsiCo, as you mentioned. I've been at PepsiCo for 20 years in various roles. In my current role, I am part of our data analytics and AI team, which is part of our strategy and transformation organization. Me and my team are accountable for data engineering, data management, and all the supporting platforms. So be it data, be it BI, be it data integration globally here at PepsiCo. This is a centralized organization. So my remit essentially includes building the data backbone, enabling AI and analytic solutions spanning our entire value chain. So from seed to shelf, and also for all of our geographies and all of our business units and operating units.
Well, Amlan, first of all, it's a pretty significant responsibility. So thank you for that, and thank you for, spending some time to share with us. One of the things you said, what I think was interesting, was this all starts with data. AI doesn't work without data. And what you mentioned was you have a centralized global strategy for this data. So that's a significant amount of pressure on your data to be successful, right? And so how do you organize this data, this information, to provide access and support all of the operations globally, your innovation, your digital transformation strategy, and yet still comply with all the regulations and the security issues that I'm sure you have, at Pepsi for all this effort? How do you organize all that in a centralized fashion and yet deliver the data in a way where you can leverage some of these innovations like AI? Very curious about how you do that.
Yeah, as you mentioned rightly, Clyde, everything begins with data. And one of the things that was recognized early on as the company embarked on a digital transformation journey a few years back was that data was at the core, and it was absolutely critical to have a robust data foundation. So sponsored and supported by the senior most management in the company, we've been on this multi-year journey essentially to create what we call an enterprise data foundation. So to bring together internal and external data from various sources into a common platform infrastructure, following what we call often in industry medallion architecture. I'm sorry, getting into some technical details, to harmonize and normalize the data into what we call a common silver layer. That then can be leveraged across many digital analytics use cases. So really drives reuse of the data. So you source it, you transform it, you curate it once, and then you use it many, many times. And increasingly now for AI-enabled use cases as well. So the program includes consolidating our various legacy data warehouses and data lakes, modernizing our platform infrastructure, dedicated focus on data governance, which is what you were stressing on. Very, very important. We've not had this sort of a centralized, dedicated focus on data governance. This is to ensure that, the data asset that we're building is of high quality, It's properly cataloged, both from a technical and a business metadata standpoint. So the data is easily findable, and there is proper lineage management as well. All of this is essential, as we go into the world of AI. So this is, fundamentally the foundational backbone for all of our digital analytics and AI use cases.
Yeah, you used the term interesting silver layer. I might want to unpack that a little more. And I think, some organizations out in the world today were born in the cloud. So their data is organized already in a fashion that's easily used or more acceptably used. But PepsiCo, because you've been around for decades, you have this current data layer, you have these legacy data layers. Um, it's fantastic. You have executive support in all this. And what this silver layer is, it sounds like it's a best practice, not just for all businesses, but especially as you want to prepare for AI. So I guess, if you've put this together and you've got this data organized in this silver layer fashion and you've got executive management support, where do you see AI driving you? I kind of want to dive into the pool of AI now, right? Where do you see you've got your data organized? What are the strongest business cases for AI? And how is PepsiCo leveraging these data sets to support this effort? Where do you go? How does it start? How do you go forward with this data?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question, and also, there's so many ways of sort of unpacking it, right? So, let me begin by just saying that, from a traditional AI standpoint, we've been leveraging what I term as traditional AI. I do not very much like the term narrow AI, but when you think about machine learning and optimization capabilities. So, for example, forecasting use cases where we have driver-based forecasting use cases from a demand planning standpoint, or marketing mix modeling, or things like audience generation or store clustering. Right? We've been using what we call traditional AI for a while now, and then optimization solutions to create things like a customer promotions calendar, for example. So we've been doing those sorts of use cases, leveraging what we might sometimes call traditional AI. And again, sort of a plug back to the enterprise data foundation. All of that is powered by data from the enterprise data foundation. And again, given that we have taken the effort to really focus on governance of that data, the quality of that data, it's absolutely critical that you have good data powering some of these, very sophisticated machine learning based use cases. Now, with the advent of Gen AI, we're taking an AI first approach, firstly, right? As we think about solutioning for our various use cases and needs. So starting with the basics on the technology side, as you can imagine, we're looking at leveraging Gen AI in driving greater efficiencies through significant automation across the entire software development life cycle. So be it in data management space, we're using capabilities to generate code automatically using Gen AI to driving automated data quality capabilities. We're looking to leverage Gen AI basically at every point, if you will, in the data analytics value chain. We're starting to realize the benefits, frankly, but excited to see, what lies ahead and as we continue to scale these capabilities further. But as we think about applying AI to our business challenges and opportunities, right, that's where it gets really, really exciting. So we're looking at Gen AI-based solutions across the value chain, be it product innovation with the acceleration of product development life cycles, or driving significant efficiencies in the way our marketers do their work today, or how can we get hyper-personalized in the campaigns that we run with better and faster consumer insights. If you go to the world of manufacturing and warehousing, you're trying to get into the world of leveraging, digital twins to accelerate transformation and automation in our plants and warehouses. So almost every part of our business is beginning to leverage AI, and in particular, some of the Gen AI capabilities. And I must also mention, this also gets into some of our enabling capabilities. So of course, we're looking at Gen AI for efficiencies and functions like HR and finance and legal and procurement and so on and so forth as well. So it's a very sort of a comprehensive set of capabilities and looking at almost the entirety of our value chain, where we feel like there are possibilities for really leveraging AI for efficiency sorts of use cases, but also looking at how it supports top line growth as well.
This has been terrific. I really enjoy the insight. I thank you very much, Amlan, for your time and for joining me today. And for more interviews and more insights, CDO Magazine Tech does this often, so please visit that site to get more detail. And thank you so much for your time. I appreciate the opportunity to get your insights today.
Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for the opportunity.